Pros fans thrilled to be back. Wished I could say I was thrilled that the Orioles were having a better road trip, but unfortunately I cannot. However, today I have the absolute privilege of being analyzed and have a discussion with the brilliant Dr. Michael Sullivan, and I am absolutely thrilled. Joe Rosano's Orioles Report is next. Welcome to Joe Rosano's Orioles Report with the brilliant Dr. Michael Sullivan. So, Doctor, what I'm going to do here is be quiet, and I am going to say, Dr. Sullivan, what say you, sir?
Yes. Well, Joe, I sense from watching many of the videos you post and many of the things that you say that you are struggling with the performance of the Baltimore Orioles. And so I think it would be good to have a conversation, which is mostly focused on you, Joe, about this team and how it's affecting your life. So I'd like to start with, Joe, how are you feeling about the Baltimore Orioles?
I think that they are in shambles and they should can everybody they see.
That's a very extreme point of view, Joe. So break that down for me a little bit. It's easy to say that they should, quote unquote, can everybody. But tell me why exactly you feel that way.
Once upon a time, and we all know how much you love this, Doctor, this was so promising, okay? Adley Rutschman was supposed to be our white knight. He was supposed to hi-ho silver us all the way to World Series glory. And in addition to that, you had this young guy, this Gunnar fella in the minor leagues, and some guy named Colton and Heston. And by golly, you got Matt Holliday's son, not even on the team yet, and they already won 100 games. Goodness gracious, this is lovely. In 2025, you get two pitchers. One is about my age, and the other, I guess he's all right. And then you get the Pete Alonsos, the Taylor Wards, to augment what you thought was a struggle against left-handed pitching. And I got to tell you, this team has cracked the past two seasons. A rebuild's not supposed to be make the playoffs twice and get swept. It's supposed to be 4 or 5 years of really cool baseball. And now that white knight is a Boston Red Sox.
So, Joe, you feel let down because a number of 24 and 25-year-olds haven't done exactly what you expected them to do, and that these kids, which judging by your age and also by my own, that is what they are, that these kids haven't lived up to Joe Rosano's, or let me rephrase that pronunciation. They haven't lived up to Joe Rosano's expectations for them, and that is causing you great stress.
No, it's not causing me great stress in my personal life. But I pride myself on being a fan.
Let me just say, I'm glad to hear
fans.
I'm glad to hear, Joe, that it's not causing you stress in your personal life.
And 40-year-olds, not the kids. I'm talking Elias. He's the one who brought in Charlie Morton and Tomoyuki Sugano. He's the one who brought in Chris Bassett instead of Ranger Suarez. When all of his guys are under control. You seem to have
some amount of rage for this man named Mike Elias.
And these guys come up and they all stalled, every one of them. I got it, Michael. They made the All-Star game, but that's 2 years ago. Adley's best year was 2023. Gunnar Henderson has stalled. Dylan Beavers is about a 215 guy. Jackson Holliday is about a 230 guy. I mean, these guys are supposed to be amazing, like Kyle Stowers is in Miami right now. Like Dean Kramer last night, a one-hitter. Every time they go somewhere else, Eureka, Brian Baker seems to go to the All-Star game. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
So, Joe, I'm just a modest doctor, and I don't know nearly as much as you do, the great Joe Rosano, about baseball and its crazy little minutia
I
of
appreciate that,
statistics,
doctor.
right? So I mean, I don't know that, right?
Mhm.
But of course, even if I don't know it, I can look it up. And when you say things that, even me as a modest little doctor could look up and find are absolutely wrong, that, that kind of makes me believe that you are in some way delusional. Like Dylan Beavers is not a 220 hitter. He's a 234 hitter. Jackson Holliday, by looking at the statistics, because I don't know anything personally myself, is leading the team in batting average at the age of 22. But
With his average since he missed about
somehow you still
over a
seem to
quarter of the
believe in a
season.
deluded fashion, that he's not performing to expectations.
None of them did. Expectations is a very strong term, doctor. Adley Rutschman was supposed to be 290, 25, 102. Gunnar Henderson also. Jackson Holliday, that's Matt Holliday's son, for crying out loud. The number one prospect in all of baseball is not fulfilling anybody's expectations.
Joe,
and the number one pitching
I need to ask you a
prospect is
question.
in Anaheim now.
Time out. I need to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations are whose? Are they yours?
What they told us.
Or are they, hold on, or are they
1-1? Bobby
the
Witt
players?
Jr. was all right.
The expectations are whose? They're your expectations, Joe.
No, the expectations that the experts at the organization told us they were.
Right. And
you remember Matt Wieters? I feel sorry
you're saying. You're saying that the 3 All-Star nods for Adley Rutschman are not meeting expectations. That's what you're telling me. And
I mean,
look, we all know that's not the be all and end all. And again, because I have spent some time in advance of our session together, Joe, looking at some statistics, this player that you name as Adley Rutschman, his statistics in his first 4 years are no better than a gentleman who they drafted many, many years ago named Matt Wieters, who they did not draft with a 1-1 pick. And his performance in the first 4 or 5 years of his major league career were exactly the same. Now, I don't remember anybody bashing the organization or see online them bashing the organization for drafting Matt Wieters, and yet they got the same performance out of this Adley Rutschman. And everybody's like, oh, well, you failed. And I understand you want to say somebody picked another player after him who's performed better. But of course, Joe, as you know, hindsight is 20/20.
And that
so
definitely, I probably draft Adley Rutschman. Yes.
About your unhappiness about this. Dissatisfaction would be a better word.
Adley Rutschman went to the All-Star game this season at
3 times.
254, right? 254, 8 home runs, 47 RBI. Boy, I got to tell you, the threshold to make that All-Star game nowadays is pretty freaking low.
I guess so. So why do we care that he's
from
gone?
Your one?
So why do you care that he's gone?
See you later. As I told
right, you don't care that he's gone. So how is that a failure of the organization who decided that they decided to trade him? How is that a failure? They decided to trade him. They'd made it smart. It seems to me they made a smart business move and traded him. And so I fail to see how that represents a failure by the organization.
Well, in addition to being an esteemed physician, you are also an executive, right? Michael, when somebody tells us executives something, okay, that's one thing. Michael, when we hear it from 20 people, it's an all-hands meeting. It's serious then. And this isn't just me. So
when you say 20 people, tell me, no.
MLB TV. I mean, these are smart people saying this now.
Joe, when you say 20 people say it, I need to know, 1, what are they saying? And 2, who is saying it? So tell me that.
Mike Bordick. We're going to start there. Okay.
But what is he saying?
Says that he's saying that the rebuild failed.
Okay, that's a very general statement. That's a very general statement, Joe.
Okay,
so give me some specificity. What does that mean?
Thinks that, again, that what the Oriole plans were in 2022 have not worked out, and that is why Adley was the first to go.
But Joe, you are
what's wrong with this team? Why does everybody come here and just be so
Joe,
bad.
you are a self-professed baseball savant, right?
Savant.
You're
A
brilliant.
top 3 on the earth. You bet.
Yes, I know. This
You
is
bet.
why I value your opinion so much, Joe.
Thank you.
Being
I'm
the
not wrong
baseball
that often.
wait a second. Being the baseball savant that you are, and having a catcher who made the All-Star team with a 254 average and 8 home runs, and by the way, that 254 average is basically his career average, and knowing after offering him multiple contract extensions that he's not going to stay, and you only have him for a year and a half of control, I think I've heard you agree that it made sense to trade it. So,
Did it ever?
Right. So I
Couldn't
don't
wait.
I do not understand, as your therapist, what is particularly bothersome about doing that, or what they did, or the acknowledgement of that, or why that would be some indication that the front office is making a mistake when you agree with the very thing that they did.
I think that the front office, somebody in this darn organization, is not teaching these kids how to play baseball right on the big league level. And that's not, again, ask Buster Olney, ask Ben McDonald, ask Mike Bordick, all right? Ken Rosenthal, they'll all tell you the same thing.
Do you from hearing any of those experts, Joe? Do you hear from them exactly?
Well, personally? No,
no. I'm not
I,
asking whether you hear from them personally. I'm just saying whether you hear from what they say. Do you hear any specificity from them about what they would do differently, except to say that if it was us, we'd do it differently. We'd do it the way that it was done when we were there. But do they ever say specific what that would be? Or do they ever say specifically
front office and management
that the Orioles aren't doing
That's
that?
what they specifically say.
What do they say?
That's what they say.
What do they say?
They say specifically that there needs to be front office and managerial
That's not
changes.
specific, Joe. That's not specific. Specific is, what do they say, Joe, needs to change from a teaching standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint, from a coaching standpoint? Who would they put there? What would they do? How would they teach it? How would they practice it? What would they do on the field on a daily basis? That's specific. A bunch of guys going, I think they need to do it differently. That's just like you, Joe. They should do it differently because this isn't working. And I think as your therapist, I understand that. You're going, well, whatever's happening is not working. And these guys say it should change. So since they played baseball, I presume they know it should change. And I don't disagree with you that they should be able to spot things that they're like, well, it looks like they need to do something to improve this. And that's what they are all saying. But nobody says, this is specifically what I would do to improve it. And you know why? Because they don't know. Just like you don't know, Joe. We don't know.
We're analysts, we're not coaches. But I'll tell you this, Mr. Rubenstein, if you're watching, I can straighten it out, sir. Give me the job as Orioles manager. And I'm telling you, these kids will play better. They will play better. And they will appreciate that they can run out on the field and not act like sometimes a bunch of Gen Z crybabies. I mean, by golly, he's frustrated. He doesn't want to be here anymore. I mean, Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio went to World War II. All right.
Joe, did you ever consider that this is a generational issue for you, and that you have absolutely no idea what these kids are thinking, and that there's no way you could conceivably understand what 20-year-olds
I raised a Gen Z.
who have look, Joe, I have a 21-year-old. That doesn't make me an expert on 22-year-old baseball players, nor does it make you an expert on 22-year-old baseball players. It just doesn't, right? Like we're not. I'm just a therapist. You're just a supposed expert on baseball.
You bet.
And we don't know, right? And so I think, Joe, what I'm counseling you to do is let go of this idea that you could fix it. Let go of this idea that you understand it all. Just let go of it. And also, like so many people who I see in my practice who think they have the answers and repeat the same solutions to things that they cannot change. Let it go.
Yeah,
There's
unfortunately.
something that is said in therapy for people who are addicted, and in a way you're addicted to the Orioles, is that God let me accept the things that I cannot change. And there are
Yes.
so many things that you cannot change. Like, I don't need, I see 100 people in my practice who say, move Gunnar down the lineup. Can they change that? No. I see 100,000 who say, fire Mike Elias. Can they change that? Of course they can't, because they don't have anything to do with it. And so why waste the important time of your life clamoring for things that you cannot change? I would urge you, as I would urge so many of the people that I see in my practice, to adopt what I would call the hula hoop theory of life, which is whatever's in the hula hoop, when you're shaking your butt to make it move, whatever's inside of that hula hoop, you can control. What's outside of it, you can't. And so the question is, are you going to make the stuff outside of it that you can't control the focus of your life? You can, but it's not productive. It doesn't make you happy. And it actually doesn't change anything.
All right. As we conclude here, Doctor, unfortunately, I can't. And number two, I'm a Christian man, folks. Let me say this. I have a gift from God and his son, Jesus Christ. I am doing God's work here.
If you're going to say it's baseball, I'm going to call you a blasphemer.
And I do the best I can to get you nice folks to adopt pets. I am doing what my gift has given me. And I don't have many. I can't paint, Michael. I can't fix a car. I can't screw in a light bulb. My wife has to. But when it comes to this kind of thing, I am practically a surgeon. And I'm not wrong all the time.
As your therapist, I will commend you on your support for adopting. I support it entirely. And it shows, despite every other bit of evidence that we have from your online postings, that you're a decent human being. And I agree with you.
Thank you.
About that mission wholeheartedly.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, Doctor, I do appreciate it. So, folks, if you like analysts and a therapist, please take a moment to kindly subscribe, like, share, comment, click that notification bell for our latest episodes of Joe Rosano's Orioles Report with the handsome Matt Faulkner, the brilliant Dr. Michael Sullivan. As always, O's fans, we do appreciate you hanging out with us. I got to go get back on my meds over here, obviously. Please take a moment to adopt yourselves a pet. God bless you, O's fans, I say, and we will see you next time.
I'll send you a bill, Joe. Go O's.
Amen.